Tampa, home of the South Florida Bulls. Welcome to the Herd. Go behind the scenes, from the sidelines to the studio and everywhere in between. Featuring exclusive interviews with coaches, players, insights from the community throughout the program's 26th football season.
We cannot wait today.
Get ready, because this is our family. This is Bulls country, and we're a stampede. This is Horns Up, USF All Access.
Hey, work on two, 1, 2.
Hello and welcome to Horns Up, USF All Access. I'm WFLA sports anchor Karen Loftus.
And I'm USF sports anchor Kaylee Cottrell. Thank you so much for joining us. We are excited to give you inside access to the sights and sounds of USF with exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes footage in the bullpen.
The big news, of course, last Sunday, Vice President and Director of Athletics Michael Kelly announced major leadership changes in USF's football program. Head coach Jeff Scott and defensive coordinator Bob Shoop were both relieved of their duties. Special teams coordinator Daniel DePrado is now the Bulls' interim head coach for the rest of the season.
Coach Scott came to Tampa 3 years ago, and there were high expectations for where he could take the program. But Kelly said while he did so many things right, the on-the-field results were well below their standards.
Co-defensive coordinator and linebackers coach Ernie Sims is taking over for Coach Shoop as the Bulls' DC. So major changes late in the season, but this could be exactly what the Bulls need to finish the season strong.
Every single second of every single day.
Make them feel you.
Our attention to detail, our alignment, our assignment.
Everything in how we do it. If we're going to put time into it, it's worth our best time.
And he outruns everybody. Touchdown, USF.
There was a change made, and now we're going to find the very best person we can find right now. I have ultimate respect and confidence in Coach DePrado. He's got great energy.
Football's given me pretty much everything in my life. The opportunity to play and then get into coaching, and have been doing it for the last 19 years.
Touchdown, Bulls.
Part of my decision is because of his leadership skills, his energy, but he also talked to the greatest number of student athletes on a daily basis, and on the defensive side.
Said he's going to be stuffed.
Having Coach Sims have a chance to lead us the last couple weeks.
And we cannot wait today.
It's Dwayne Bulls with the pick, and he's got a full head of steam.
Well, I tell you, I've had a lot of influences in my life, and I tell you what, coaches play a pivotal role. And, you know, part of why I am the way I am right now is I understand the role that we play in as a mentor, sometimes as a father figure. I just embrace that.
Family on 2, 1, 2.
Family, I think, as young people relate to their family back home, when you depart home and come be a part of this family, we lean on each other as coaches to coaches, as players to players, and the other way, from coaches to players and players to coaches. And the family that we've been creating, I think it's very important.
They have been through so much here at this university. They have sacrificed so much. They have poured so much into it and what it is right now. And I'm just blessed. I really am. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to just mentor them, support them, teach them everything that I've learned along the way, because they deserve it.
1, 2, 3. Let's go to work.
We put a lot of things in place with Jeff that has made the future success that I envision, that I believe in, possible. To me, it makes great sense that no matter what the circumstance that you are, that it makes sense to play well, play together, do the best you can for yourself, for your school, for your family over the next 3 weeks. I came here on a mission. You all know I felt called to be here because of my past, and I'm not going to give up till we get it right. And we're going to keep finding ways to make this a successful program, and I'm confident we will.
Caught, Weaver, he dives for the end zone.
I can sense something truly special building here. Now, again, starting off with, you know, our athletic director, Michael Kelly, and his vision and his direction and his history of what he's accomplished. And it starts with the coaches. We have to be the pioneers. We have to be the leaders that's going to model what the best is. Is that I feel something special building. I can sense it.
This segment was brought to you by MSC Cruises, a world of discovery.
Scott laid a great foundation, so time will tell. And we'll see these changes impact the team. Coaches play a pivotal role in leading their players who have been passionate about the game of football since they were kids.
Last week, we heard the coaches' why, and this week, we are hearing directly from the players about their why.
What's up, man? We out here, you know. Let's go.
We here. Let's get it.
We can only do two things, get better or worse. In the day, we get better. I promise you.
I first got introduced to football. You know, I always loved watching it when I was a kid. But I didn't start playing until I was in 8th grade. That's kind of when I first got a little taste of football. You know, I liked it, I enjoyed it. And I was playing baseball and football, and they said, if you want to get serious about one, if you want to go to the next level, they said, pick one. So I decided to keep the pads on, keep the helmet on, and it ended up working out well for me.
And Bryant complete across the middle. Big hit at the end of the play.
Number 7, Will Jones II.
Man, my passion for football has been since I was about 6 or 7 years old. Growing up, I always play offense, so, you know, I like to have the ball, score touchdowns and things like that. But as I got older and playing more and more, I just started to learn that defense was probably something that I was going to be able to excel at. So, yeah, I've been at it since I was young.
I would always be outside playing with my neighbors, friends around the neighborhood, and I just never knew what the next step was with football, but my pops decided that would be the best option just to get me started at an early age.
I got into football when I was like 7 years old. I first started playing with Sanford Seminoles. We had one of the best Part 1 teams it is, like, for real.
And the Bulls will go in a pistol formation here on 1st and 10. Wide receiver in motion. Here comes the jet sweep, and here comes Jimmy Horn, and here comes the open field. He's out past the 40.
My interest of football started when I was about, honestly, when I was probably like 2. But the main reason is because, well, my dad played high school football, so then growing up, I would always go to his football games, and also had older cousins and things like that, family members that played football. So Friday night, Saturday, like the whole weekend was pretty much football. So that just really made me also want to be a football player.
Yeah, I really like how this defense for South Florida is flying to the football.
I started playing football when I was 10 years old. I was in the 5th grade. I just was always watching it. I always wanted to play it. So I remember I had got on the computer. I'm looking up like no weight league football teams, and my mom was like, you know, if you can find one, you know, we'll sign you up. So I ended up finding one, and then so started playing, and then the rest is history.
When I was about 5 years old, you know, my pop's always been a football guy and stuff like that. He's been playing throughout college and stuff like that. So I really grew up. About 5 years old, I started playing flag football, and then about 7 years old, I went into tackle football, and then the rest being history.
Flip out and a throw! Caught! 2-point conversion. Weaver on the receiving end.
This segment was brought to you by Buhoff Law Group.
So cool to hear the childhood memories. I can't believe some of them started as young as 2. That's pretty wild. Well, we mentioned the leadership changes at the top of the show. Well, yesterday's game marked the Bulls' first game with coaches DePrato and Sims in their new positions. How did everything go? We're going to have highlights from that game right after the break. We'll be right back.
It was the Bulls' first game under interim head coach, Coach Daniel DePrato, and the SMU Mustangs and the USF Bulls headed into the locker room at half all tied up. But the SMU Mustangs outscored the Bulls in the second half, and the game ended with a final score of 41-23. Let's take a look at the highlights.
And it was the Bulls' annual Salute to Service game as they honored the military the weekend following Veterans Day, where green and gold moved aside a little for the red, white, and blue. With the winds of change blowing through the South Florida program, special teams coordinator Daniel DePrato stepped up as interim head coach, with Ernie Sims taking over defensive coordinator duties against a potent SMU offense.
SMU won the toss and chose to receive, as you figure they might with that high-powered offense. Dwayne Boyles, who is the leading tackler for South Florida, was in coverage.
Boyles is closing in on 300 tackles in his USF career.
Uche Dixon, the Texas transfer, and it looks like Dixon lost a yard. Boyles made the stop.
That's a familiar call as Boyles led the Bulls in tackles for the 6th straight game.
4th and 4, up for Rice in a first down. No, apparently it was juggled in a late decision. That's Brown, that corner.
SMU put up 77 points on Houston in their most recent game, but South Florida let them know early this would be a different story. The Bulls excited to be playing a home game for just the second time in 63 days.
Wildcat play, and Albritton bursts his way forward.
Brian Battie was on his way to his 3rd straight 100-yard rushing game.
And Battie, one of the stronger running backs in the conference, ran for 129, 293 all-purpose last week at Temple.
Brian Battie on his way to his 3rd straight 100-yard rushing game.
Albritton again, fighting for the goal line and in. Touchdown, South Florida.
The Bulls were on the board, and the defense continued to lasso the Mustangs, making it tough for them to convert on 3rd or 4th down.
7 on 3rd down. Mordecai, a lot of pressure came. The pass was caught, and we'll see if SMU chooses to attempt a 3rd, 4th down try today.
They did, and the stubborn USF defense made it a poor choice.
Mordecai's pass is incomplete.
So a huge break for South Florida there as they get off the field on 4th down. That's a second stop on 4th down today.
And it led to a late second quarter surge that would tie the game.
Fake it to Albritton, fake it to Battie, throw it over the top. It's a walk-in touchdown.
On Salute to Service Day, they had touchdowns both with the infantry and through the air, and they weren't finished for the half just yet.
This has been an awfully encouraging first half for Daniel DePrato.
Again, the South Florida defense held. Again, the offense responded.
And Daniel DePrato is going crazy on the South Florida sideline. They're going to get the ball back down by 3.
With just over a minute to go, a 20-yard pass from Trey Marsh to Jimmy Horn and a 20-yard run by Sean Atkins set things up for Spencer Schrader.
And Schrader's kick, good from any distance. 36-42, doesn't matter. 2 scores in the final 3 minutes of the half for South Florida.
SMU pulled ahead in the second half as the injury bug bit the Bulls again. Freshman Byram Brown was pressed into service at quarterback, a chance to get his feet wet and do some good things. And South Florida fans got a glimpse of the future. This week's highlights brought to you by Wendy's.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. This week we're spotlighting linebacker Dwayne Boyles. He broke top 10 in USF history with almost 300 registered career tackles. This comes not only because of talent, but passion and a strong work ethic he learned as a kid.
BYU 44. BYU in a hurry. It's Brooks, and he's going to be stuffed. Boyles with the tackle.
Dwayne Boyles, Miami, Florida. Football is a big part of Miami. You know, it's a big part of our culture. It's what all of us kids play, even though if they didn't go to college or play in high school, you play during Little League.
Pratt to Spears, ball is out, and the Bulls have it. Dwayne Boyles knocked it out of there.
My dad put me in football at 6 years old to see if I like it. At first, I didn't like it. I played my first 2 years, and I took a year off. That year off taught me a lot about myself and if I really loved the game, because I dreaded that 1 year, and I was about like 8 or 9 years old. Just all about football for a while, just because being raised in Miami, that's what we're all about. But I wanted to try a new avenue. At about like 11 or 12 years old, I played basketball. I was pretty good at it too, but hey, I came back to what I love. So.
Dell is the motion man. They'll run it, and it's going to be short. Dwayne Boyles with the tackle, and it's 4th down.
That's a big stop, Beth. That's a big stop for USF.
The toughness it builds in you and the character it puts in you to play this game, and it just puts that in you. And because sometimes you don't want to go to practice as a child, you want to just go out and play with your friends, but it taught me a lot about just being disciplined and staying on track and having some responsibilities and taking and fulfilling those responsibilities.
For USF, you better find number 11, Dwayne Boyles. Always seems to be on the play.
You got to put the work in, you know what I'm saying? Those days when you don't want to get up, you know what I'm saying? When you want to just stay at home and just want to chill and relax, like, no, you can't. Hey, you gotta get up and keep going, you know what I'm saying? Because we have this goal that we want to reach, which is to get rings on our fingers, you know? And that's the culture like we're building right now with us seniors here, trying to put those lessons inside the new people that just came, the new transfers and the new freshmen that just came.
Here comes the pressure.
Pratt, down he goes. Ball is out, and the Bulls have it. Boyles, of course.
That's the 5th sack of the day for this USF defense.
Playing the game, that's the most important part and most fun part on game day. You know what I'm saying? Because you have so much anxiety building up before the game. I don't really like that. So when I just get that first hit and I'm locked in my zone, that's just like the best feeling in the world. So come out, support, and show us some love, and thank you. Go Bulls.
We mentioned it, Dwayne Boyles, number 11. He's all over the field. Outstanding young man. Had a chance to meet with him yesterday. He is no nonsense. He's all about football. And number 11 is the consistent performer for this defense.
This segment brought to you by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery.
Boyles has been locked in all season. All right, time to take a quick break. When we come back, we're switching gears and highlighting USF men's baseball outfielder Drew Brutcher. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. We're checking in with some USF baseball now, where outfielder Drew Brutcher has had a lot of success in his first 2 years on the team. Head coach Billy Mole is excited to see what Brutcher, the top returning player on the team and in the conference, does this coming season.
My name is Drew Brutcher. I'm a junior. I'm an outfielder here at USF, and I play for the baseball team.
A blast high in the air to center field. Way back there, and USF takes the series. A Brutcher bomb to win it in the 10th.
I mean, Brutcher's a true five-tool player. He does everything well. He runs, he plays really good defense, strong arm, hits for average, and hits for power.
Fly ball left field. It's going to be deep enough to score the run, and it's carrying pretty well, and it cleared the wall and left. Home run, Drew Brutcher, 3-0 Bulls.
Part of it's his bloodlines. His dad played professional baseball. Drew makes the game look really easy. I mean, there's just special players out there. Shane McClanahan a few years ago was that kind of player. Drew Brutcher has, you know, the same type of ease in his game that Shane showed when he was here. Things come easy to him, and he's a lot of fun to watch.
I mean, I just go out every single day. I want to do the right things. I want to be like the first to do everything last out of the weight room. I just want to do everything right, and then as a leader, everyone follows it, so that's what I really do.
Drew's not a vocal leader. He kind of goes about his business, plays the game the right way. He's going to speak by example. That's the way he does it, the way he goes about it, the way he runs after fly balls, how hard he goes down the line. You know, how he prepares in the batter's box. You know, that's who Drew is. He's not one to be vocal, but he's definitely somebody who can carry the team by the way he goes about his business.
Eaton with the lead off second. Witt to the plate. Fly ball hit pretty well toward right. Fair or foul? It's got home run distance. It's gone. Drew Brutcher has tied the game in the ninth. A 2-run homer. Bulls 3, Texas 3. Brutcher pulls it over the right field wall. The only question was fair or foul, and it was fair. His 8th home run of the season. RBIs 16 and 17, and Brutcher hits his first homer, knocks in his first run since April. Game tie.
We were back in the Super Regionals where the team was doing great. I was in the dugout and just had my name called in the 9th inning, and I was ready for it. I mean, I wasn't thinking about the fans or the spot I was in. I just wanted to get a pitch to hit because I haven't been in for a long time. So, I mean, it's just having fun, honestly.
You know, a program-changing moment was that tying home run he hit against Texas in front of, 12,000 people, having not played for a couple months, and he goes in there, and that will be etched in the USF history books forever, that moment, as big as it was, and for him to go in there like it was no big deal, and that was pretty impressive to watch.
It was definitely something you dream about as a kid. 9th inning, 2 outs, down, 2 runs, 3-2 count. I just got a pitch I could hit, put a good swing on it, and just hope for the best.
Well, I think what most fans will always remember is that pinch hit home run at Texas. That will be in the record books for years. When you think of Drew Brutcher, that's the first thing that's going to come to your mind. But also, for me personally, it's how good of a kid he is. Real low-key individual. I never have to worry about him doing anything. He's always been accountable for his actions, but just really soft-hearted, big guy who, is a lot of fun to watch play.
I want the fans to see me as a better hitter. I struck out a lot last year and just want to put the ball in play more. The same thing as last year, just keep going, don't change anything different, but I've definitely picked the perfect place. I've had a blast all 3 years, and I can't wait for more.
That 2-run home run against Texas, 9th inning, 2 outs, just absolutely incredible. Brutcher tied up the 2021 game and just silenced that crowd of more than 7,000 people.
An incredible moment for sure. Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. We're nearing the end of the football season, but don't forget you can catch the next Bulls football game this Friday, November 18th at 9 p.m. against the University of Tulsa.
And then, of course, join us Sunday night at 9 right here for more exclusive footage. For Kaylee and myself, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.